Hey everyone, welcome to another lovely episode of Rise of Nyarlathotep. Now, you're probably looking around going, but there's only 4 of you! That's okay. It's more of me to take more of the monsters and pin them on less of the people. So we're just going to have a really exciting time. Before we dive into everything, we're just going to quickly go around the table and introduce ourselves. I am Lucas, my pronouns are he, him, and I will be your DM for the evening. We'll go down to Ian.
Hello, everyone. I am Ian. I'm playing Weary, whose pronouns are they, them. Weary is a tiefling artificer, alchemist. I'll eventually remember all 3 of those consecutively in a row. And my pronouns are he, they. And I'm excited to be trapped in the time basement.
Jess.
Mute. Okay, wouldn't unmute. Hi, I'm Jess. My pronouns are she, her. I will be playing Glyph, our favorite automaton rogue, and their pronouns are they, them.
All right, and Jason.
Hey, I'm Jason, and I'll be playing Kratoq, the simply superb Glumerian bard, and we are both he, him.
All right, so last time on Rise of Nyarlathotep, our heroes had explored a bit more of the beautiful lands of Enchantland, this little sleepy town. The town itself has been so far perfect, a little too perfect. Things are free here, everyone is very giving and kind, and there doesn't seem to be any weird monsters coming after people. The party had made their way to Good Times, an alchemical shop that served patches with emotions, and the town seemed to all be using the emotion of happy. As everybody is hooked on happy, they are just taking these patches, although side note, there is no addictive qualities to these patches, everyone just wants to be happy. So everybody is using these. TK had experienced nostalgia with a nostalgia patch. So TK was flying through nostalgia, saying a lot of information that the party didn't necessarily want said out in public. So everyone made it back to the inn and discussions were had. Weary had decided to go do a presentation on fungi, and a few of the party members went with them, and Weary earned a lot of money. After getting all this cash, the 3 of them came back to bring more of the money. TK had seen Morgist above her and remembered a vision of Morgist holding her up and her one arm hurting extremely badly, where there is now a prosthetic arm. As well as we had the rest of the group come back, talk more on the situation where Weary was going to go to the alchemical shop at midnight. So the party went to sleep. Kratoq played a horn to send everyone to Snoozeville. Weary went off to the alchemical shop in the middle of the night, and then the group Weary had went to the shop and talked to the alchemist, who explained a little bit about vampires in this world. Vampires are not the spooky undead. Do we just complete? Oh, we're 25% of the way. I will explain that community challenge in a minute. Vampires are not undead. They are alchemical creations. They are people who have basically found the way to expand their life and become an almost perfect being. And they do have some qualities that draw energy from others. It can be blood. It can be energy. It really depends on the person who's becoming the vampire. After going into the basement, Weary had found a cleanser down there and saw that the patches were being harvested from the cleanser. Patches of the cleanser's flesh was being turned into these patches and mixed with emotion, and Weary had made a deal to restart the regeneration process on the cleanser and get the secret recipe of becoming a vampire. And as they spent their first day researching, they kind of lost themselves, and looking around, they tried to break out of the basement, realizing they had been down there for a day, spent a whole day trying to get out, melt the door, blow up the door, everything, nothing was working. And a few days passed as Weary's been down there researching and also looking for a way out. Before we hop in this, music and sounds are from Sirenscape. If you look on over to the middle there, we have lovely Roll20 sponsoring us. Thank you, Roll20. If you want to have an online game for yourself where you can connect with people all across the lovely world, you can hop on Roll20 and deal with time zones just like the rest of us podcasters. It is a hoot. Try scheduling a game with someone from New Zealand. It's fun. They're in the future. All right, so we have a community challenge, which we have already raised 12,000 of the 33,000 points needed. So I really had fun with the community challenge last time. I've been very busy, so I haven't done another community challenge since reviving Chip into the Hulk monster that Chip now is, as we're collecting superheroes to come after the randos. This one is for a traveling mysterious merchant. So if we do raise the 33,000 points, the Dwarven dollars, then a mysterious merchant will come and will be selling some lovely items very cheaply to the randos. So getting those magic items, because sometimes I forget to put magical items in my adventures. We also have a few new features. Now I'm going to have to scroll through this list to see if anyone's done it. Okay, thankfully no one has yet. Good. So we have a few things that you can now contribute points towards. So there is +1 to inspiration, and there is give an enemy disadvantage. So added a bit of limits, so we can't spam these, but the inspiration, I'm going to be setting up the overlay. So next time we will have it all ready to go. But basically what we're going to have is like a pool of inspiration. So all of the players can pull from this pool. And when people spend, just like Shellixtina there, redeemed a +1 inspiration. So now there's 1 inspiration in the pool that any of the party members can pull from to grant themselves inspiration to do a single task. So aka get advantage on something. And if I am just slapping people down with the baddie, that's when you can spend to give an enemy disadvantage. Don't spend it before it happens. If, because I might not be able to keep track of that. There's a lot going on in this game. But when the enemy is there, and let's say they're coming in to bring another beat down on poor Weary, like in the church, you can grant disadvantage to the enemy so they'll smash a pew instead, maybe. We'll see how the dice roll. Alrighty. So that was a lot going on. What we're going to do is we are going to start with Kratoq and Glyph, as Weary is in this basement. So I believe you're both in different rooms at the moment. Kratoq, you had played a horn that had sent you, Alora, as well as Weary into the deep sleep. And Glyph, you were kind of laying there just trying to sleep as there was a lot on your mind. And TK was consistently muttering, I remember sleep. I remember the dark. And it was not easy sleeping until you could hear the voice pitter out and then TK snoring. So, Kratoq, you are out like a light. Probably the best sleep you've ever had since you've been at the Church of the Shining God, where you didn't have a nightmare. And you suddenly are awoken. You feel this water splash on you. As you bolt upright, your feathers are puffed out a bit. You look over, and Weary's bed is empty, much like you expected, because Weary did tell you that they were going out that night. But Alora's bed is also empty and very wet.
Do I see anyone standing there in the room or anything?
No, there's no one in here. It's also deathly quiet. Normally there's maybe some people walking outside, maybe you hear boards creaking of someone getting up or anything like that, but you don't hear anything. There's no human activity going on. You can hear the sounds of night though. Insects, a few birds coming from outside.
I guess Kratoq would just look at the other two just to make sure that they're really asleep.
So you're going to go to the other room to check on Glyph and TK?
Yeah.
Okay. So you go over, you open up the door into the hallway, and you can kind of see towards the common room. It looks like there's a few people slumped over on tables. You do see Greta, the orc woman that you've been traveling with. It looks like she's slumped over on a table. There's an empty mug in her hand. You can hear snoring coming from that common room. And you just walk on over to the room with your other two companions. And the door is locked. You do hear, Glyph, you're laying there and you do hear the movement of the door handle.
The hell is this? Has to be some kind of prank. Come on, guys.
And I'm sure I hear that.
Yep.
I get up. I kind of glance at TK. She's out. Say, Kratoq, is that you?
Yes, it's me.
I'll unlock the door and open it just a little.
You see a completely drenched Plumerian.
Open the door. Oh no! Did you get caught in the rain?
Is that supposed to be funny? Did one of you do this? No one from my room woke up.
I don't know what you're talking about. Did someone pour water on you?
I know. I was just like sleeping peacefully, and then all of a sudden, water all over.
I don't see why anyone would do that. What did Alora say?
Alora's still sleeping.
Actually, Alora's bed was empty.
Oh, Alora's bed is empty. Alora wasn't even there.
I'll step out into the hall and I'll go check their room as well. And I want to when I step out into the hallway and I see the common room with like people sleeping in it, I want to roll perception. Is this like natural or is it unnaturally quiet?
Yeah, go ahead and roll me perception.
It's supernatural.
Whoa.
Waste this big roll. I got a 25.
This is the quietest you've ever heard anything aside from traveling in the country. I mean, traveling in the country has its own assortment of sounds, of course, but you just don't hear people. You can hear like a bit of snoring from the common room, but you look outside and there's a few windows. There's some lanterns that are lit outside. You don't see any people. In a town this size, you figure at the very least there'd be some sort of night watch or something, somebody wandering around, but you don't seem to hear or see anyone. You do hear people, though, snoring in the common room with that high of a perception.
Yeah. Also, it's a college town. There should be
That's true.
Youths about.
Should be a mattress outside.
I kind of stopped dead in my tracks when I realized how quiet it is. And I turned to Kratoq and I'm like, something is wrong.
You got that right. I don't see any youths either.
And I'll go check the other bedroom.
You look in there and it looks like Weary's bed is empty as you expected. And Alora's, it looks like the whole bed itself is soaked, and there's like a pool of water at the base of it.
Curious. Can godlings turn into water?
I'm not really sure.
Perhaps. Oh, because I wasn't there when we didn't see how she left the first time, so we don't know about the water.
Yeah, they had been dragged into the water just outside the cathedral.
Under the bed.
You don't see anything under the bed.
Check under the bed.
You do, however, both of you hear the sound of snacks and a jug hit the ground, and murmuring from the room that you were both just in, where TK is.
Again, I kind of shush at Kratoq, and I will go see what that is.
You see TK, it looks like she's sleepwalking. She's very much stumbling and like moving forward awkwardly. She's grabbing it like goes over to a closet, more in the commons room and like grabs, it looks like a box of tools and just starts wandering outside.
Do we just leave TK to her own devices? I think this might be a little dangerous.
I do not know. It does not seem wise to let her wander.
Guess we
Let's
run after TK.
Yeah, we're gonna follow her and try to like corral her and get her to stop, but like I don't touch her.
So you step outside as TK is stepping outside, and you're trying to kind of shepherd TK back in, or at least like a little bit off to the side. And she's walking very awkwardly, like very much, it seems like almost cartoonishly a sleepwalk. And you start hearing doors open from all over as you're watching all of the citizens of Enchantland coming out. Some have other tools, some have supplies, some have paint, some have gardening implements, and you just watch them start fixing up the town. You see TK sort of turns away from all of you and like turns towards the Adventurers Guild and just starts touching up the paint. There's like a paint can that's off to the side there, grabs a brush and just starts touching up along the trim.
Is this a side effect of those mood things?
It could be. His shop had only been here a few weeks though.
Well, I mean, it makes sense. Like TK was the only one of us that took one, right?
That is true. Well, it seems they're not doing anything untoward.
No, I mean, fixing the town's probably a net good, right?
I suppose, but I'm not sure they know they're doing this.
It does kind of feel like indentured servitude to some extent, yes.
I don't say anything to that. I turn to Kratoq. I'm not sure what happened to Alora, but it looks like TK will be preoccupied for a while.
Yeah. What about Weary? Were we expecting him to come back?
What time is it?
I guess you could have. It would make sense that you would have some sort of internal clock. You know, it's after midnight, probably closer to 1 in the morning.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Right. I check my internal clock. Weary was supposed to meet the alchemist at midnight, and they said come alone. It is now closer to 1. Weary is not yet back. I don't know how long it takes to learn dark alchemical secrets.
I would expect it takes at least an hour.
Gotta time box those secrets, you know? Like, if we haven't figured it out in 2 hours, we gotta go get lunch.
We gotta go.
No, there's probably nothing to worry about regarding Weary for now.
Oh, I am exceedingly concerned about Weary. I do not trust the alchemist.
No? Why is that?
Because he has a product that he's offering for free that does a deed that people would be willing to buy. And it makes no sense to give that away for free. Unless he's getting something else out of the arrangement. And I kind of gesture at the people cleaning up the town.
Yeah, when you put it that way, that's a pretty fair hypothesis that he's up to something. Should we go interrupt? What do you think? I kind of miss sleeping.
I will go look if you wish to sleep. Or you can stay here and keep an eye on TK.
What if we can convince TK that there's something to fix at the alchemy shop?
Their sign did have very poor font work.
So Kratoq kind of, I guess, sort of sneaks up to TK, and sort of says, "TK, I don't know if you can hear me in your dreams, but there's a broken sign on the alchemy shop for you to go fix. You should do it now."
Roll me your persuasion.
That's a 17.
Yeah, TK's ear twitches towards you, and you see that she looks to be considering it for a second, and you can hear her kind of mumbling, "I remember signs," as, as she just starts wandering in the direction of the alchemist shop. And we're going to hop on over to Weary. Weary, roll me two rolls as if you're using your alchemy kit.
Okay, sure thing. Let me pull out my skills. Oh wait, no, that's a level 6. Never mind. I do normal rolls. Level 6, I get like expertise with my toolkits, but that's not yet. So right now I can just do regular old rolls when it comes to. I think I'll use Arcana as my base just to start off. And so an 8 for the first roll.
Okay.
And a 17 for the second.
So the first couple days you are looking over the cleanser, and it's difficult. There's books here, to be sure, and they go over some of the cleanser's anatomy, but it's very clear that a lot of the rituals around the cleansers, the parts they use to create the cleansers, all of this is lost in secrecy. And the second day, you're kind of shooing away the little mechanical spiders every now and then to try to watch the regenerative process on the arm. And you're every so often you get a little annoyed and try the door or try to do something with the door. And you're not having much luck. You've been down here for a little over a week now, and you haven't felt hungry this whole time. You haven't felt thirsty. You don't need to go to the washroom or anything like that while you're down here. And you do feel very motivated while you're down here. This kind of project hasn't really come up recently. You've had the odd thing to look at, but this is an alchemical marvel sitting in front of you, this cleanser. And then you finally hit this breakthrough where you're noticing just like it was something that you overlooked. It was this lack of vitamins and minerals that the cleanser was dealing with. So you are administering these to the cleanser and trying to make sure that you're not giving them too much when Trevitha's eyes start to flutter open. And the cleanser's face, you've tried to look at it a few times. The hood is pulled over. Even when you pull the hood back, it seems like there's this darkness that's coating their face. You can't see through it. When you feel, it feels almost like there's a bit of fur on their face, but they do have a very humanoid-like face. And these eyes are like two yellow glowing eyes. And so these eyes, they flicker open and they're staring at you.
Good, I was beginning to worry that you actually were completely gone. Good morning, Trevitha?
See if I can grab his voice. Sorry, I thought I had it saved. Tell me if you can understand this one or if it's a bit too much. Because I haven't used this one yet.
Ooh, new voice.
Who are you?
If I tell you my name, would it make much of a difference? We're both stuck in here.
Do you work for Caden?
No, I'm trying to get something from Caden. And I really don't like what he's done with the place.
You need to get me out of here. I need to escape. We have to stop Caden.
What's he doing?
He's hunting down cleansers. He's trying to create And she looks down at her arm. And I'll hold up this little guy. So we hold up this every time there's going to be some more intense body horror.
Sorry, it's just the
I'm
voice
still
is
talking in
odd.
that voice.
Yeah.
I just realized that.
Lucas
So,
is real voice now.
Thanks. I love
Yeah.
when Satan gives me a content warning. That's actually very polite.
you know, I'm sure Satan uses safety tools.
Yeah.
So, we hold up
very
this
cool of Satan to
when
give me safety tools.
when there's intense body horror. When I bring it down, that means that stuff is done, and I'll give a little teal deer. So, Trevatha looks down at her arm, and this bone and sinew, you've been letting it grow back a little bit more, and it's now stitched over, the bone's still poking out, and you have to keep wiping away, every so often, like pus and stuff comes onto it, and you have to keep cleaning it up, keeping it clean. And she looks down at this, her wrist shackled to this chair, and just screams. So Trevatha looked down at her arm and saw that it was quite mangled.
What? What are you doing to me?
From how I understand it, Caden is stripping you for parts to turn into emotion-influencing drugs.
Why haven't you let me out?
It was all I could do to just wake you up. I've been here for, I want to say days, but I haven't felt hungry. I don't know how long I've been here.
There's a field over the area. If I could get my strength back, I can bring this field down.
Trevatha, I don't know if I can trust you. And I don't trust Caden either, but you've been here a while, and I know cleansers can do some damage.
Are you siding with that fiend?
No, it's like you weren't listening to me. I don't trust either of you. Are we on the same page now?
Very well. How can I earn your trust?
It's really, really unfortunate because what I want to do is help people. I want to heal. I want to eventually become a physician. And Caden is offering that I get to do that forever. I gain functional immortality, which is one of the goals of alchemy anyway. I would obviously, I believe he's giving me the recipe, so I'd have to learn it on my own. It's a big draw, and that's what brought me into this room. I didn't know you were going to be in here. I didn't know you were going to be alive.
You wish to help people.
Yes, I do.
Caden will continue what they're doing. I can stop Caden.
Can you?
I was caught off guard at first. My companion was down here, trapped in the town of in the city of Transmutia, and I was caught off guard.
Because the last thing I want to do is let you go, have you fail, and then I miss out on both my chances. If we're going through with this, and I'm not saying we are, it has to be foolproof.
What does Caden want you to do?
Restart your regeneration to, I assume, turn your body into drug levels.
I can teach you how.
Mm-hmm.
And then we will have to trick the alchemist.
I'm not good at lying. And when he just kind of sits down, like, defeated, like, I've been accidentally rude to at least 3 out of every 10 people I've met since I've left town.
You're from Sekothet.
Oh, yeah, I suppose my clothes kind of give it away.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
The people there are very blunt at times.
It helps. People are very clear with their intentions.
Yes. I will show you what to do, Tiefling,
Mm-hmm.
and I will put my faith in you, hoping that you will help me. I cannot let others of my order suffer this fate.
What does Caden have against you? Is it purely just because he can use you all, or?
When I first arrived in Transmudia, I was informed of Caden's actions and drugs they were manufacturing. I was to put a stop to it and meet the cleanser who was already investigating the case.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, the cleanser was captured before I could get there, and was used as bait to capture me. You can alert the guards of Transmudia. They could aid us.
They won't.
Why?
They're hooked on Caden's everything. He offers them 24 hours of bliss. I think the only people that would even move towards my cause, if this were to get very ugly, would be my group that I came traveling with, and one of them is already imbibed, so I'm actually not sure.
Well, I will teach you what you need to do.
I like that idea, and I have another one. If I know Caden as an alchemist, and I feel like I have a pretty good picture of that creepy spider-armed fuck, he makes himself immune to his own drugs. That would be the smartest thing to do. They are volatile and could potentially affect his emotions in a very strong way. And I take out the blind loyalty patch. Can you help me get past his immunities? Because if we could get him to let us go non-violently, I could get what I want, and you could get what you want. And Caden will think that he's our best friend.
If we could somehow amplify my abilities, even for just a moment, I might be able to weaken the vampiric elements of Caden's resistance.
Oh, that tracks. That makes sense that he would be a vampire. Does that mean I'm going to grow extra arms?
No,
Okay, thank goodness. Horribly tacky.
I believe Caden created that body.
It would have been much easier if he were some sort of plant. But you think, and I'm pretty sure you feel, and that just doesn't sit right with me.
Many fear my order, see us as monsters. We enter the order looking like anyone else, and we come out like this. But what we do is protect everyone. The creatures out there are numerous and terrible.
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and try to insight check Trevatha. Not that Weary's very good at that, but Weary will try.
Yeah.
Nice. That's a clean 12.
Trevatha, it's hard to read her because her face is literally cloaked in shadows.
Yeah. She's like a Jawa.
at least from the cadence of her voice and how she holds her shoulders, it seems like she's a pretty honest person. She isn't one to try to pull something over someone. It seems like kind of not too much in the thinking department. I wouldn't say she's dumb by any means, but it seems very much more of a person of action.
Okay. I appreciate that. Oh, another thing. I guess I've been here for days, so... And I imagine because Weary I don't know if it is functionally days or actually days, but Weary will have swapped out Pesca for the invocation of this magical strength armor, which is amplifies. It basically lets Weary's half plate in times of like need, like activate a boost of strength, basically.
Ooh.
So
How does
I'm gonna
that look?
switch
Is
to-
it like Pesca
So
magnetically clamps to the armor and like enhances it,
so-
or?
I like that. So I think what happens is like the half plate is already kind of as it is, like it's kind of like a smattering of like metal plates that are kind of like interlocked. And then Pesca kind of like becomes this like mounted like shoulder thing, and
Mhm.
just like this pulse of like bluish energy just kind of pulses through the armor when it's active like that. So I've
That's
turned
cool.
Pesca off, and I have turned on there's a specific name for it, but I've turned on my magical strength armor basically.
So
Oh, I just realized that my friends are going to be worried. Trevatha, try not to look threatening when we go back to meet my friends. TK might try to kill you.
I will do my best.
Mm-hmm.
So the time starts passing down here, and you are working away. You've been talking a lot with Trevatha whenever she comes into consciousness. She doesn't seem to be able to hold on very long at first, but the more you help her, the more awake she can be for longer periods of time. And you're learning more about the cleanser's initiation, their rituals, the immense amount of magical energy that is poured through these beings. And they go through a number of surgeries to have these different parts swapping out their own. A lot of arcane creatures are used, and even some things that are told to you that are known as far beasts. Now, you've never heard of far beasts before, but the way Trevatha describes them is that they are beings not from this world and beyond where there are no stars. And so these creatures, they have incredible anti-magic properties, and a lot of their parts are placed into them. And through the rituals, it's what creates these massive cleansers. And you don't have like a step-by-step on how to do it or even a lot of the details, but you're getting enough of the information that it's helping you figure out what you need to put together out of the ingredients around you. So roll me 3 more alchemy checks, and we'll see what happens.
Sounds good. That's not a good one. That's a much better one. And that one's just okay. So I got a 9, a 24, and a 16.
All right. So you are working away. In the beginning, it's difficult because you've never done something to this level of complexity. But you are making progress, and days are passing. You're losing track on how to keep track of time. You don't know how long it's been. You definitely know it's been more than a month down here, but you're not sure after that. It's getting a little strange. You've become quite acquainted with Trevatha while you've been down here. You're learning that she was actually once a halfling, and now she's closer to like 8 or 9 feet tall. You learn that she used to have a very close connection with her family, but after becoming a cleanser, she was shunned and not accepted amongst a lot of the people from her village. And she's been doing this work for well over a century. So nobody's sure how long cleansers live. It's hard to say because a lot of them just keep dying out on the field. So it's not easy to tell what the exact lifespan is. And you are making leaps and bounds, and you get to the point where you're watching as now the skin and everything on the arm, it coats over completely. And the spiders come up and they'll carve off little pieces as Travis is trying to get them to get away from her. And the skin will heal back in a matter of seconds. And we'll go from there to our group up above.
Can I make a small note since I've been there for months?
Yeah.
I have created little sculptures of the party and I talk to them.
You cast away it?
Yeah, I cast away it. There's like a little like bird one with the arms outstretched, and it's like, I like when you sing. That's fun. And like the glyph one, it's just weird trying on different little outfits. And the TK one is like I imagine Weary's always like posing the TK one, like fighting something else, like maybe fighting one of the mechanical spiders. And then the Allura one is just in nice places, like just out of eye line. So Weary will turn and be like, "Oh, there's Allura cheering me on." And yeah, no, Weary's not taking complete isolation with just one person very well.
That is fair. Up above, you are all following along with TK, and it takes you maybe 20 minutes to get over because you have to get past a lot of people. They're carrying supplies, so don't keep dropping supplies in your way, and like sometimes you just have to help them to get them out of the way. And you make your way to the shop. The sign is swinging a little bit gently in the wind, and TK, she lifts a hand up to the sign, and you watch as she sort of twitches her hand and just rips the sign off, and it hits down to the ground, and then she starts painting. And the thing that surprises you is TK's penmanship is incredible as she starts going and improving the sign of good times.
Well, if it wasn't broken before, it is now.
You know what? I believe in the process. This sign will be better than it's ever been.
So much for stealth. We are not a stealth party. I want to, I guess, look in the windows.
The blinds are drawn, so like curtains, and so you're not able to see in there. You do see there's a faint light coming from inside.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Speaking of, is this the kind of shop where like the other shops are built right up to it, so like I can't go around it, or are there alleys?
It's very thin. There is a back door.
Okay. I kind of shush at Kratoq, and I kind of like from him to TK, like watch her, and I'll stealth around the back and see if there's like a back window or something.
Roll me stealth.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Not bad. 17.
Okay. So you creep around to the back, and you see there's maybe one or two townsfolk back here just sweeping the alley, and they're very much asleep, like just kind of like moving very lackadaisical. And you make it, and there is a back door. There's no back windows, but there is a door.
I want to check and see if it's locked.
Okay. It is locked, and you do hear the humming of machinery behind the door.
Okay, I will stealth back to Kratoq. Do I need to roll again, or?
No, you're good.
Okay. I'll slip back out of the shadows. There is a back door, but it is locked. I do hear machinery. I don't hear any people.
Do you think you could, like, break the door open?
I kind of tilt my head. Oh, I won't need to break it.
Oh, you can pick the lock?
Yes. I'm like, come with me.
Well, is this one of those times where I need to be sneaky?
It wouldn't hurt.
All right. I got a trick for that. And Kratoq uses one of those stealth orb consumable things.
Ooh.
I don't know if we ever gave him a proper name.
I think he called it a something sphere. Oh, it was an actual science thing. I don't remember now.
Oh, a
Dyson
Dyson sphere.
Yeah.
Science sphere.
But it doesn't make sense for stealth, but we're going to go with it.
A lot of things in
Sneaky
this world are
sphere.
weird. Yeah.
And for extra good measure, Kratoq is going to cast a level 2 silence where the door is.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Well, actually, it's a huge.
So like the whole back
Not like
room will
20
be
foot.
quiet.
20-foot radius.
Yeah,
It
that's
probably will
awesome.
be like almost the whole building.
It'll be like the back room as well as like a part of the alleyway and everything. So
Okay. Nice. What does your stealth sphere look like when you use it?
We'll say it just kind of like pops like a bubble, and there's like a little aura of smoke, like if we use like a smoke bomb.
Glyph nods at that. But yeah, well, we can go back to the door. TK's just working away. She's fine. We get to the door, and I kind of crouch to the lock, and I take off my 1, 2, 3 pairs of gloves, and you see my like lovely articulate metallic hand, and then you might want to hold up the
oh.
It bends like completely backwards, like flat with my arm, and out of my wrist like spiral out all these little tools, and then my hand like clicks back, and they're like flush with my hand so I can articulate them, and I will pick the lock.
So your hand opens up and a number of tools come out?
Yes. We'll try. What is... I have proficiency in that. I have not been a rogue in a long time, and not in 5th edition. What do you roll?
I believe it's sleight of hand.
Okay. We'll go with that. That is a 15.
So you pop open this lock with relative ease, and you slightly creak open the door just to take a look inside. You can see there's not much light in here. There's a little bit, like a little candle off to the side, and you see these large machines, just these cogs turning. There's large, like almost boiler-looking things, and you see like there's tiny tubes that are coming all out of the walls, the floors, leading to different things, and you see there's a very, very wrinkled-looking goblin, and by wrinkles I mean like like a basset hound, how it has like super droopy extra wrinkles, like it has like twice the amount of skin it should. That's what it looks like. Just a little goblin is rushing back and forth.
And he's like working on the machines?
Yeah.
Okay. Just from what I can see, I have I have advantage with Steam or Steam Tech. Can I roll and see if I can tell what these are?
For sure.
Okay. That would be what would that be? What I'm rolling. Bad. Rolled real bad. That's an 11.
It's some sort of manufacturing thing. Like they're making some sort of product, that's for sure. It doesn't seem like it's a device necessarily, or like a weapon or something like that. It definitely seems like it's something in the line of manufacturing.
Okay. I open the door just a little more so that Kratoq can see in as well.
Take a peek
Very
in.
carefully.
See all
The goblin stops in their tracks, and you see their head slowly turns without moving their body. Their head slowly just turns around, and these pure black eyes look right at you, Glyph. Master Glyph! You've arrived! And the rest of the body turns around.
Are they in the silent zone?
Oh, that's true. So they just mouth these words. And then they look confused, and they try to say them again, and they look confused, and then they just go down on their knees and they start bowing to you.
I presume that they're bowing to Kratoq because of his musical prowess.
Linking
And
it
I
back
don't.
to
We're
the
in.
Tenacious D.
Are we in the silence bubble too?
Yes.
Oh,
Kratoq
I'm
did
just
like a standing bow in response.
and I kind of do the like ta-da, like here's here he is. We'll step into the room.
So you
Kratoq does, yeah.
you step into the
Yeah, I'm
room. The goblin gets up, dusts themselves off, and you see like they're rushing around. They grab this like cup of like dirty looking water and like a bowl of, it looks like fruit that's starting to go a bit moldy, and they bow down once more and offer them to you, Glyph.
Oh, they think I'm your servant. Okay, I take them reluctantly. And I kind of shrug at Kratoq, and I'm just like, okay.
What kind of fruit is it?
It looks like plums.
Okay, I'm gonna try to like scrape the mold off and take a bite.
It's very sweet. Very sweet. It's definitely going bad. But you eat it. It's very juicy. It's, we're going back to that Lord of the Ring cherry scene, you know?
Yeah. Kratoq kind of just drops the rest on the floor.
Thank you. Now that we're in the room, it's just machines like all the way around?
Yeah, everywhere. There's a small desk with this candle on it, and there's a little book that's there with some scribbles, and there's a little bed of straw that's over in the corner, and just other than that, it's just machines. It looks like there was a door that goes to the front of the building, but it's been boarded up on this side.
Okay. I kind of gesture. I point out the boarded up door, and again, just kind of like shrug. And then I want to go look at the book with the doodles in it. What is this little goblin doing?
They just keep, like, they're following you. They're on your heels. But
they're
they always just look
me.
very, like, at the moment you turn around, they do a flourish, and it's very awkward, and they kind of stumble a little bit, or they'll knock something onto the ground, or smack
Really
into one of the
awkward.
cogs.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, and I'm just nodding at him, and I want to flip through the book.
What languages do you speak?
Ooh. I speak Common and Foundry speak, and Rocklock. I speak the rock language.
You do not recognize the language this is written in.
Flip through it. I hold it out to Kratoq, and again, just shrug again.
What languages do you have?
Orin, Common, and I can't remember what the Plumerian built-in language is. If you gave him one.
I did. I don't remember which it is, but it's not any of those languages.
Okay. So Kratoq kind of looks at it and furrows his brows and casts a level 1 comprehend languages.
Ooh.
So you cast the spell, and the words start falling together on the page as they slowly start making sense to you. And it is a diary of this goblin. You are looking through, and a lot of it is talking about how they've been stationed here, how they hate Volkeith, how they don't understand that they and their siblings have a sacred mission, that they need to find Master Glyph, the owner of the cybernetic mask. They have been blessed, and they need to follow them and serve them and protect them. And it's just a lot of really angry writings about giant, stupid, floating meatball, Stupid thing doesn't understand anything. Starspawn, more like garbage. And just like a lot of angry ranting from this little goblin.
So is there like a pen and paper around there?
Yeah.
So Kratoq takes that and in comedy just kind of scribbles on it like, man and Volky, goblin and siblings have sacred mission. Stupid floating ball of stuff. What do you say, meat or something?
Yeah, meatball.
Meatball? Yeah, stupid floating meatball.
Do
And
you
then
write?
shows this.
Do you write anything about the Master Glyph mask situation?
What did it say about that again?
They want to go serve Master Glyph, who's the holder of the cybernetic mask.
Oh, Glyph, holder of cybernetic mask? Question mark. And I show this to Glyph.
Okay, I take this. It's half nonsense. Cybernetic mask.
So Kratoq points to the goblin and then points to you and then does like a little heart thing.
The goblin gives 2 thumbs up and then a heart.
I point at myself. Me?
The goblin nods. And like their skin too, like it doesn't keep up with their movement, so it's like a little bit of a schlop.
Ugh. He's clearly right. Maybe we should draw. I gesture from the goblin to Kratoq, and then just like to ears, and I'm like, or I can just take the pen, and then I realize we have pen and paper, and I just write, "Should we drop the silence?" with my also impeccable handwriting.
The goblin keeps trying to look, and as they're looking up, their skin just like kind of goes over their eyes, and they have to keep pulling it up, and they can't see what you're writing.
Kratoq kind of looks around to see if he can tell if there's any stirring about or anything elsewhere in the building.
There's a lot of machinery in here. It doesn't look like anything could really fit unless it was maybe the size of a cat.
Oh yeah, Kratoq ends the silence spell.
Okay, I turn to the goblin and I'm like,
I'll be quiet. Oh, you gave me my voice back. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for displeasing you. I'm quiet.
oh no. Yes. And Glyph can't really whisper. I just turn the volume down on my voice. And I'm like, yes, be very quiet. Hello. What is your name?
I haven't been given one yet. My siblings all have names. I need one. I've not been blessed with a name since I've ascended.
Kratoq, what is a good name?
Something to do with sagging.
Oh, I'm quiet.
Bulbous Bob. You're Bulbous Bob.
Oh, 2 names.
No, it's
like
all
Saint
one together.
Jeffrey.
No hyphen or anything, just Bulbous Bob. All one.
Oh, many letters.
Yes.
What do you wish of me, Master Glyph, wielder of the cybernetic mask? Shall we rend the villagers' flesh from their bones? Shall we drink their blood from their skulls? Shall we praise chaos and bring this world into a new era?
Not at the moment.
Okay.
At the moment, be very quiet.
I am quiet.
And I will, I turn to Kratoq. Master Glyph of the cybernetic mask. Was that in the journal?
Yeah, something like that. I kind of just skim over the diary. I got a bit personal and strange.
It's incredibly personal and you read it, but I will forgive you, strange bird who follows Master Glyph.
Trust me, I'm sorry I read what I did.
Stupid Volcaith.
Who?
It's a stupid
Vol-
meatball. They don't understand your glory.
They do not. Who is Volkeith?
It's a star spawn. It hides in the caves like a coward, unlike you, Master Glyph, who walks among the masses without fear.
My full disguise constantly.
My siblings are being held by Volcaith in the cave.
Is Caden keeping you here? Do you work for him?
Yeah. Caden's better than Volcaith. I do get a fancy bed and a desk. Even my
Look at
own
his-
candle.
It is good to have a candle. One moment. Go stand by your bed.
Yes, of course. And they go and they quickly, like, kind of like a little, like, lopsided run as they make it over to their bed. And they stand there, just staring at you with eyes of adoration.
Turn around.
All right. And they turn around.
Oh, I turn to Kratoq. And I lean in close. I have no idea what he is talking about.
Well, I think the cybernetic thing is about your mask. And somehow you became a god to them. I don't know if that's the power of the mask or you were just that impressive in your former life and you didn't realize it.
I was a glorified coat rag. I don't know where this is coming from.
But coat racks have so much utility. Do you know how many coats I own back in Plumeria? They're like the best thing.
I'm sure you have many splendid coats.
Anyways, I don't see Weary anywhere, nor Caden for that matter.
Perhaps Bulbous Bob can help us. He does work here. And I'll walk over to him. Bulbous Bob,
Yes.
you have done well waiting for my return.
Thank you.
But we are looking for a friend of ours, a tiefling with gray skin and a yellow veil. Have you seen them?
Beautiful one, yes. They wandered into the basement.
To the basement. Was Caden with them?
Yes. Caden's always watching. Caden's always there. Looking. Listen.
I see that this...
Listen, you can hear Caden. Do you hear them? Scurry, 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 walking through the walls. Scurry, 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 they will catch you, then stab you! That's what happened to me yesterday.
Caden stabbed you?
Yes, I tried to eat Caden.
Can I look around to see if I notice any other like small automatons or I don't know critter anything moving?
Roll me a perception check.
Yeah, big money. 24.
Oh wow. Okay, for sure. You're looking around and you look between some of the machinery and you see these two black beady eyes. They glint in the candlelight, and you hear scurrying as they see that you see them, and they scurry off behind one of the machines.
Ah,
Oh. He saw you. He's going to come for you.
I saw that he saw me.
Kill him.
I will if necessary. Kratoq.
Yeah.
We have been found out. Caden or his agents do know we're here.
Well, then I think Caden should have the decency to meet us face to face. What kind of cowardly thing is this? This is his shop. Is it
We
not?
were also just coming to check on our friend.
Exactly.
Trespassing is fine if it's done by Master Glyph. Your ownership of your home is no more in the awe and glory of Master Glyph. Give all your things to Glyph, or else we will destroy you. Bow down or be bathed in your own blood. Right?
See, our behavior is even enshrined in Bulbous Bob law. It's protected. We did the right thing.
And we'll hop on over to Weary. So, Weary, you've been down there for a while. It was inevitable. You got weird. You've been down there for a long time. You have a lot of conversations with inanimate objects, and it happens.
Weary has a mullet now.
Yeah. And you've got everything done, though. You are so proud of yourself. You're looking at this cleanser in front of you. You've not only brought back Trevatha's regenerative skills, but you've enhanced this creature. There were so many components in here, and you used everything here. You've poured everything into this. You have spent every waking hour just making this cleanser the best specimen it could be. And you hear this skittering at first, and then the door opens. And you see as Caden walks in. You've completed your task, Weary.
How'd you do that with the time thing?
You'll know. You'll know soon enough.
Oh, God, no.
When time becomes irrelevant to you, you learn to bend it, regardless of what Borodon wishes for the mortals.
That's really cool, granted. How are you? What's been going on topside? Have my friends tried to kill you?
No, it's been maybe an hour and a half. I had a late dinner, caught up on some reading, and I just came down to check on you.
Oh.
Oh, the time. Oh. Well.
Oh. No, that's good. That's good. That means they should be here around, you said an hour?
Yes.
Well, knowing Glyph usually gets worried about me around 42 minutes. So if it's been an hour, that means Glyph showed remarkable restraint.
Your friends are indeed here.
That's good. That's good.
Perhaps it's time you left yourself. I believe you've earned what you came for.
Sure. Is it in book form? Is it an oral history? What are we looking at?
Arcane inscription.
Sure. I have clay tablets. Let's go.
No need. You shall be the tablet.
Oh, it's like a magic tattoo.
Let's go with that one.
Oh, it's going to be worse, isn't it?
No, it's just a tattoo. You'll be okay.
I don't know. You make it.
No.
I told you
no,
when we
just-
first spoke, right? Not 2 months ago, that you say things in a neutral tone of
months.
voice, and it sounds sinister no matter what.
Right, but maybe, just maybe, you should take a seat here while I do this.
What happened to the other one?
The other cleanser,
Yeah, what happened to it?
they expired.
How?
The regeneration just stopped working. But here, you've shown me your little conversations. I see what you've done.
Yes, I figured you could hear me. That wasn't as important. What is important is why you couldn't figure it out yourself. You have infinite time. Why did you need me?
Do you know what the trouble is with paradise, Weary?
I flunked philosophy. I'm really sorry.
It's everything you want. But when you lose the need to push forward, it can harm you in ways you've never imagined. I told you, the weakness that all vampires face is motivation. When we're given paradise, it's hard to push past it.
You can't. It hurts your creativity.
Some.
You can't think outside the box because you've been thinking the same way for hundreds and hundreds of years.
It can happen.
You haven't succeeded alchemy. You failed.
I wouldn't say so.
You failed. It was all for nothing. I've been
You
here for
see,
months.
there's like a vein now
thinking
on
about what you
Caden's
said.
forehead.
Yeah, no, we're just like about lost it. I've been here for months thinking about like the 5, 6, 7, 8 sentences that we shared, and you failed. All that bluster, all the magical tattoos, all the experimenting, and you couldn't solve a problem that took me a couple months. You have hundreds of years on me, and I was able to do it in a couple months. You're a horrible alchemist.
All right, Weary, with your strong armor, what's your AC?
The AC doesn't change, but I can use it for a boost in strength. And I want to note that even though I assume Caden could hear the conversations, I was, as we were going, applying small amounts of acid to the bindings
Okay.
on the cleanser. So when the time was right, I mean, I'll take a hit here if I need to, because we're about lost it, but this is fine. It's a 17.
So this hand extends out, and it seems like the arm will stop short of you, and it just keeps going. And these claws appear at the end of the hand as the wrist like whips, and then the arm, it just goes in this quick flash as you feel this scratch across your face. And you take just 6 points of damage as you feel your blood trickling down, and this almost like manic feeling is enveloping you.
Mm-hmm.
You know not what you speak of.
No, you don't know anything.
The things that I've accomplished are beyond your wildest imaginations. I merely
Then why don't
hit
you
a
run the country?
roadblock.
Why don't you run the country? You can make drugs that make people do whatever you want, and you live in a basement.
I want more than to run a country of babbling fools.
And Weary steps forward, like unhinged at this point, just like laughing, to like almost like put hands on his shoulders and be like, what are you doing? Think, like you've messed it all up. You haven't like, and Weary, like it's not even threatening. It's just like unhinged and like stepping forward. Does he allow it?
Make me a grapple check while you're doing that.
Sure. So that's a +3. Hey, chat. You know what would be real cool?
There is one in the pool at the moment,
you know
thanks
what? I will
to Shell
use it.
Stina. All right, so you use our point of
All right.
inspiration.
So I'm going to, yeah, absolutely, and I'm going to activate the Armor of Magical Strength effect, which means that I get to, it's a strength check or a strength saving throw, I get to add, as a reaction, I get to add my intelligence modifier to it. So instead of a 15, it is now a 19.
All right, I got 3, so
Okay.
you beat me. So, Caden's taken back as you're coming up and laughing and spouting all this. You're frustrating Caden, and you grab on to his shoulders as he's looking down at you with these black beaded eyes.
And I slap him on the cheek, and I apply the upgraded loyalty badge. And then I have another plan if this fails.
Right? So you slap this on Caden's cheek, and you're smiling, you're manic. You look in the corner of your eye, and you see Alora cheering you on. And you feel yourself suddenly. You feel yourself suddenly flying.
Plus them.
As you're flying backwards, and it's kind of cool to be weightless for a second.
Yeah.
As you realize someone grabbed the back of your armor and brought you backwards, as you watch as this massive fist comes forward and crunches down onto Caden's face. And you're watching all of this, and when it hits, suddenly there's a weird wave through this room as the time manipulation is affected. And you're watching Caden move in slow motion as the cleanser's moving in slow motion, and your body's moving in slow motion, but your brain is moving at the same rapid pace that it has been before. And then everything speeds up, and you watch as Caden goes flying off to the side, smashing into a pile of boxes, and these boxes just collapsing on top of Caden. And Trevatha looks at you, these wide, glowing yellow eyes.
We have to leave now. The door's open.
Yeah, no, that's good. It didn't work, did it? The patch.
I don't know. I just punched.
Oh, God, Trevatha, I love that for you. You know what? You should meet my buddies. Oh, they're going to be so worried. Oh, man, that felt good. I haven't displayed that much emotion in months. Oh. I go over to the unconscious I want to say Craven for whatever reason, like he's the hunter from Spider-Man. No, I go over to him. I grab all of my dolls of the party. I grab. I see that when I was looking at the Alora doll, they had been knocked over by all the ruckus. So I go, oh, okay, put those away. And I go over to Caden, and does he have anything on him?
You're looking through the pockets of Caden, and these boxes are all over him. So you're like moving a couple boxes and like patting pockets. You do find there's a key that's on Caden, so you take that from their pocket, and you're patting it down. It doesn't look like there's much of anything else on them. As you're patting them down, this hand grabs your wrist, and you feel it's burning. And like you go to like slap away the hand, you slap it away and it just falls limp to the ground. As you watch, this arcane scripture starts writing on your forearm.
Huh.
And you take just 3 points of damage. It hurts, but it's not like crippling pain. It's just this TK's tattoo is a lot more painless than this.
I get up real close to Caden, because I'm pretty sure they're like awake-ish enough
Yeah.
And I whisper, and I like get up real close because I want this to like sting to the maximum level you can sting an academic. And I'm just gonna whisper, I'm gonna take everything you found and make it so much better than you can even imagine. Because the moment you lost your imagination was the moment you actually died. And now you're just a loser who's clinging to life, pretending he still has it. And I slap away the hand and I get up and I go, let's get out of here. This town sucks.
So you and Trevitha, you step through the doorway, and Trevitha rips the door off of its hinges, just like, yeah, let's get this.
Boys, not fucking closing this door on me again.
Right. No, Trevor, I wasn't going to do that. You saw my whole that whole come to enlightenment moment.
What?
Oh, we
So
could have closed the door on him. Whatever.
You step out of here, and you're suddenly so hungry. You're so hungry. And Trevitha, you hear like this just growling from your stomach and hers as you both look at each other. And it's just like, it's a crippling hunger. Like if you saw a sandwich that was like soggy in the rain and like bugs on it, you'd chow down. Like, But you do hear from not very far away,
Master Glyph! Oh, yes, we will bathe in their blood!
Oh god, I'm gone for an hour, and Glyph started a cult. Okay, that's fine. Maybe I'm just hallucinating from the hunger. Trevitha, did you hear that too?
I'm
I'm so hungry.
Oh,
I'm so
okay.
hungry.
We're both just hearing stuff. Let's go. Really clambers up the stairs. The veil is off at this point. It's like tied like a sash around their waist. They just have a horrible like shaggy mane of hair. The bangs are messy and like splayed in different directions. Their eyes look completely wild as they like step out and look like they just emerged from the cave.
You step into this area, you see like the glass cases with all the patches. You see that there is like you're coming out from behind the counter, so you see there's like a number of boxes and things here and there. You see that there is a lockbox underneath one of the cases. And the two of you in the back, you can hear this like banging and something that sounded like something got destroyed, and just like heavy footsteps coming up a set of stairs. You hear this over the machinery as you're back there.
Like coming towards us?
No, it sounds like it's on the other side of the wall.
Oh. That was probably Caden. Do we hear, like, Weary and Trevitha?
You can both make me perception checks.
That's a 12.
I also got a 12, but mine's a 19.
You can hear muffled voices, but you don't know whose voices they are.
Okay. Ugh. Bulbous Bob, is there any way into the shop from here?
The front door!
The door is boarded over.
Not this door. You go outside, go around the building, go into the front door. But Caden's there. Smelly Caden.
That information is very helpful.
They're just beaming. They've never been told something like this.
I guess we kind of have to go look. We're not going to find Weary otherwise.
Yes. Come with us, Bulbous Bob. Stay close.
All right.
We'll go back around the front.
You see TK's trying to hang this sign back up, but the chains have been shattered. And every time she's moving it up in the air with her psychic ability, and lets it go, it just plops down to the ground. And then TK stops and fixes the lettering back up and goes about trying again.
Is the front door to the shop locked?
Yes.
Does the door have like windows?
Yes.
I'm just gonna break one of the panes.
So Weary, you're on the
Unlock
other
it from the
side.
inside.
You and Trebitha are like looking around for food because you're so hungry, and all of a sudden this fist just smashes through the window and reaches over and clicks the lock.
Oh, right on cue. Where he goes over and grabs the lockbox and opens it to see if there's food inside.
You open it up and you just see that there is a small bag, and it seems like it's somewhat sealed. And you can't see what's inside of it, but whatever it is, it's very soft. And you see that there are a few like notes here and there scattered, but no
Just take
food.
the whole box. No food. Yeah, no, I just close the box and take it with me if the key works for it. So. The door opens.
We swing the door open.
Yeah.
Weary.
Weary looks feral. Weary looks like the most. You've never seen Weary look this messy. And like behind them is like a giant with like a Jawa head. Like it's truly the stuff of nightmares.
They have these massive chains across their chest. They're wearing these tattered robes. They have these massive gauntleted hands, and they are towering over Weary.
You don't even see me move, but I've already got daggers in my hands.
It's fine. It's fine. Oh,
Do you
you're
have
real.
a sandwich?
And you're here, and you've only been gone an hour, but I've been gone months. Oh, you don't eat food. Where's Kratoq?
Weary? What do you mean you've been gone months?
Hard to explain. Help me light this place on fire.
Where's Caden?
Knocked out in the basement, blindly loyal to me. Don't know how long that'll last. Maybe 24 hours, maybe less, because his biology's adjusted to it. I got a detail wrong on the doll. I'll have to fix that. I didn't think that the time I saw you last was going to be the last time I saw you for months. Sorry, sandwich, food, both of us. Then light this place on fire, please.
Yes,
It just
let's.
collapses forward into Glyph's arms.
Oh yeah, I catch you. I'll drag you outside and prop you up. And you're out, but Trebitha's there. Trebitha.
Oh yeah, and I would
Yes.
introduce Trebitha before
Yeah.
I pass out.
Do you have food?
Kratoq may have food. We should have rations.
Doc looks at Baldus Bob and asks, do you have anything fresh around here, or was it just that
Just Caden.
almost wine? No. Okay. And Kratoq, I guess, hands them some rations from his starting equipment that he still hasn't used.
Beef
So,
jerky. Hardtack.
The scent of food, Weary and Trebitha become more beast than person as they're just ripping into this food, consuming like some of the packaging, the wax paper. It's gone. But you're getting a semblance of yourself back as the hunger is being somewhat fought back. You're still pretty hungry, but it's helped.
All right. While they're eating, I turn to Bob. Bulbs Bob, what does the machinery in the back of the shop do? Is that how he makes the patches?
Yes.
Good, thank you. And I'm gonna go. The first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go back around the back to all the machinery and just muck it up. Just turn dials and turn knobs and just mess it all up. So I'm gonna do that, and then I don't know exactly what happened, but Caden hurt my friend, so I'm gonna burn this shop to the ground. So I will do that. I have. I'll go back around the front. Is there like a lantern?
Oh yeah. There's lanterns outside. There's a bunch of them. You see people are all grabbing like equipment. They're fixing things. You see TK's now sweeping up the broken glass.
Mm-hmm.
She has given up on the sign. It's just leaning against the store.
Yeah. I physically walk her elsewhere where she can sweep up some leaves, like not near the shop. I make sure nobody's around. And then I will burn the shop down.
All right. Some good old arson. As I have
Mhm.
a cat jumping on me.
Aw,
you-
Cosmo.
Tail.
There he's gone.
You have this lantern, and you're messing up the machinery in the back, and I move a cat out of the way because he's gonna step on the keyboard. He does not care.
We did keep the journal though. We have Bulbous Bob's journal.
So you light this place up, and you hear sounds of this machinery breaking and twisting in the background as the flames start licking up on the wooden boards. Some of the people come by, and you manage to like usher them away as it looks like they're gonna go try to fix things. Bulbous Bob is doing a little dance in front of the fire.
Destruction, destruction. Glyph brings destruction. You build your shop, we burn it down, we kill your family, Glyph.
And they're just doing a little dance. Every time they're dancing, like their face will move too much to one side, and they'll have to like push it back. And like they just keep doing this little dance. And they're just sort of like walking around and just aimlessly cleaning. And as you're watching the glory of arson and this beautiful fire rise up and starting to lick towards the other shops that are beside it, because build things close, I'm sure nothing bad will happen.
It is very efficiently done arson.
You hear the sound of a bell, a very loud bell, like a church bell, sounding out. And everyone stops what they're doing. TK stops what she's doing. They grab their supplies, and they all start marching in the same direction. And that's where we'll end today. All right, yeah, finally got to bring in a minion. And we hit 50% on this goal already. Did you all have fun today?
Yes, that was a lot of fun.
That was very good.
That was really good.
That went a lot different than I thought it was going to go, but I liked how it went. I didn't think you were going to go in the back. I thought you were just going to kick in the door or something. I don't know why. I really thought you were going to be like, you got my friend. Because none of you have really valued stealth a whole lot.
We tried, and then like Flesh Pharaoh sees us, and then we're fucked.
That's fair, yeah. And then there was the flesh door that screamed, "Kill me!"
Yeah.
And you're
Yeah,
cutting
that
it
was-
up. Yeah, a lot
we
of
haven't had a
things
lot
in
of
the
luck
way.
with
Yeah,
stealth.
everything's very loud.
That was
But
great.
I'm glad we got to use one of those points already, and I'll have the layout set up for next session. Well, I might move the Roll20 logo over a little bit to like the left and have like the pool set up. So then we'll have a pool that will be able to keep track of these things, which will be really neat. All right, there's one last thing I want to do before we say goodbye. We suddenly see the camera go away from the arson, go away from the marching people. It travels over the lands, and we find ourselves once more back in the sleepy port of Port Divinarium. 3 a.m. There is a woman sitting in what maybe once was a beautiful chair in the Adventurers Guild. She's tapping her foot, looking annoyed. She has this blonde hair that's been done up. There's a coat it's very large, it's very fashion, but it looks very out of place in this adventurers guild. You see there is a tiefling woman that's tied up, a tiefling woman by the name of Willow. You see the greasy intern is standing by Willow. And you hear Lady Bywood yell, "Intern, more wine."
Of course, we've expended their most expensive set, but we can go for the second most expensive. I'm sure it will be just as horrible.
Ugh. This is why I don't hang around with people who don't have money. What's the point? How do they live? How do they justify this? And she looks down at the chair.
Horrible workmanship, I agree.
Well, we did lose 5 or 6 interns, but we killed the adventurers in here. So that was fun.
Yes.
And that was a great idea, using them as a meat shield, the interns.
Mm-hmm.
Did you used to do that in the mailroom?
No, what I was thinking was we could send out flyers ahead of our trip to the next town over, get more interns when we arrive, and then use them.
Offer them the potential of pay, but word it so it sounds like they're going to get paid, but we're not going to pay any of them.
Exciting opportunity. I know exactly what to write.
Fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
And she looks over as you're pouring this wine into a large glass. She looks over to Willow, who looks terrified. So you're saying the group, you're calling them the randos, they came in here and you just you let them use a Zerithian Doom Cube? Is this what the Adventuring Guild is now? Is this where my donations of thousands upon thousands of gold are going? Where you just let poor people take good jobs away from the deserving rich? Disgusting. I won't stand for it. And Willow's staring like, we didn't know the goblin was going to just slap her hand onto the cube. It's a binding. You can't unbind it. And the Duke said very specifically, whoever binded, the Duke. All I hear is this Duke. And you don't even have a name to go along with them. You just keep calling them Duke Peyton. I know all of nobility across the tendrils. There is no Duke Peyton. Duke Peyton Thale. Intern, dispose of this one. I'm tired of lies.
Oh, very fun. I always like to get hands-on in my work. You know me. And the greasy intern takes out a knife with the word knife written on it.
Mm-hmm.
It's got like a little sticker label so that he doesn't misplace it. And he steps forward and just like guts her. And it's very like clinical and like no brain went into it. It's just like, oh, this is work.
And the camera pans away as we hear laughter, screaming, and an intern being praised. Alrighty. Well, thank you all for joining us for this lovely time in Rise of Nyarlathotep, where we have evil rich people and a lot of interns, and we take down people who make drugs. That's what we do here. Before we all say our goodbyes, let's go around, say where you can find us. I know there's a few exciting things that are going on at the moment, so we'll go around and give all that. I have been your DM, Lucas. I am also the DM of the podcast Ballad of the Seven Dice. We also have a Patreon that we use to help upgrade equipment, buy art, and get any pay for any services that we need in the background, like Zoom and podcast hosting and all that. And with our recent donations and help from all you lovely listeners, we have got Ian a brand new microphone and mic arm. So now you can hear their voice lovely, crystal clear. And all these donations, they help out a lot. We're able to purchase more artwork. We're able to help improve the show, get better cameras, all that good stuff. There's a lot of great plans that we have in the makings, and any help is appreciated. One of the things we just started up today on the Patreon is a 5-part mini-series that is going to follow people in the Nostradamus Corporation, employees. And this 5-part series is actually going to link back to have a lot of things mentioned that's going to be happening in Rise. So it's like a fun Easter egg of like, oh, okay, I see what that means. And you'll be able to link things together because I love the Nostradamus Corporation and its weird space station. Alrighty, I have a recommendation. So the group I am recommending today is the Redacted Files. The Redacted Files are a fantastic group. They often do many different systems. So if you want to try different kinds of TRPGs, but you're unsure what they're going to be like, the Redacted Files dives into all sorts of games. They dive into Numenera, Blades in the Dark, like you name it, they've played it, Delta Green. And they do rotating GMs and rotating players. There's a large cast that they have. Fantastic stuff. I listen to them a lot. They are probably one of the best that I've heard that can just pick up a story and run with it and build you a world in a single session. It's very impressive. So definitely check out the Redacted Files. Hop on over to Ian.
All right, I'm going to be quick because you've been hearing about it for a while, but today's the day that the Are We Dead Yet podcast released the first episode of Road to WrestleMania, which is a wrestling-themed D&D 5e mini campaign that I'm actually DMing. There's weird merchandise. There's even weirder magical wrestlers. The final, I think the last battle royale at the end of the tournament arc features wrestlers designed by members of the cast here at the Rise of Nyarlathotep. I couldn't get all of them in there just for logistical reasons, but I did reference as many of them as I could. So they're all there. It's a good time. Come by and listen. There's a dog that is also a bard and wears onesies. If that's your deal, I think you'll enjoy it a lot. And on a secondary note, right? And also the Are We Dead Yet podcast episodes released the 15th and the 1st of every month. So first episode is out today. Next episode is up 1st of July, so on and so forth. My second shout out is to Pines Like the Tree, who is in the chat right now. They stream video games and music. They're currently in the process of creating a arrangement cover of a Steven Universe song. That was what they were streaming earlier today. But check them out. They are a delight. They play in my D&D games at home. So nothing but support for my homies. And that is my 2 things today.
Awesome. Jess.
Oh, yeah. I don't have a Twitter, but y'all can find me on Instagram at art_fantastical. All I draw is Dungeons & Dragons memes. But if that's your thing, come give me a follow, leave me a comment. Speaking of art, I would like to give a shout out to my wonderful friend, Nicole. We've literally been internet friends for like 15 years. And she is an artist, and her handle on everything is Aortic Inkwell. And right now on her store envy, she's actually having a sale. So if you need some amazing art, she does video game art, she does fantasy, and it's just all wonderful, complicated ink work and just amazing digital stuff. So I hope you'll give her shop a look and maybe give her a follow on Instagram because she's great.
Awesome. And Jason.
Hey, I'm Jason_42 here and on Twitter. Lucas, was Bulbous Bob's voice inspired by what I think it was?
By a certain amazing captain. The captain of the best seas and ships.
No, I thought it was something else actually. Never mind.
I pulled from one of which character are you thinking of?
Made of aluminum or aluminium, depending where you're from.
You're talking about Detective Bill?
That's okay.
Okay, I have too many characters I've played.
If you have Twitch Prime and you haven't used it, why not subscribe to Twitch Prime? It's free if you have Amazon Prime, and you'll help promote the stream, and you'll help us unlock more emotes. Those are always fun. And in addition to that, tell your friends to come watch the stream. You know, more the merrier. And we'd like to spread the word of these good in-game cults to everyone.
Hell yeah.
Anyways,
Tell you.
well, I was just going to say, thanks for coming out to watch, everyone, and have a good one.
Tell your friends to join our cults, and definitely tell them to come on by. All right, everyone. Thank you for showing up and giving us a